Tiny Hands, Big Dreams, here on the homestead in southern Ecuador. We have an interesting thing today. We have a new security camera. This episode is sponsored by REOLINK, who was nice enough to send the camera to us, which we really wanted, unbeknownst to them. We have things that happen around here. We have crazy wild animals. There's all sorts of reasons we really wanted one. We wanted a specific off-grid one with a battery, with a solar panel. That's what they have sent us.
And this is their brand new camera.
They literally sent us an unreleased camera for testing. We did not sign a contract for things we would specifically have to say or not say. We're going to give you our unbiased opinion, what we think about it, good, bad, the whole thing.
Would we recommend it?
Would we recommend it? We're going to start with unboxing. We'll get to clips. We'll get to talking about its use, digging through, playing with it, every feature possible. We spent time with this. So, hang out with us for a bit. And see the camera. Okay.
They come back and the dog is freaked out. We're like, I don't know what happened.
What's wrong, Toby? What's wrong? Like, you're not Lassie. We don't
really
know
wish we knew what happened.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of neat. We have goats that are about to give birth, and historically that has been the, I don't know, maybe the goat's having a baby. I don't know.
Set
Maybe
an
not.
alarm every few hours and go check them up
Hike
the hill.
up the hill, get up, come down, get up, come down. It's not close. It's a huge pain. So we're like, oh man, it'd be great to have a camera. We could just like check on it, be like, no, nothing. So, strangely, the universe listened, and we were contacted by a company, REOLINK, who has a brand new camera coming out that they were looking for people to do a review on. We do reviews. We happen to need a camera. Excellent.
Their new camera happened to be sort of designed for people like us.
Which is probably how they found us.
Yeah.
So we were super stoked. So got it imported, the whole rigmarole, and here we go. So we're going to unbox it. We're going to do our initial impressions, and then we'll tell you more about it, and then we'll go ahead and
we'll just set up and we'll film stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what the heck lives out here that we don't know about.
And show you what it can do.
Yeah.
Oh. Comes in their own tape. Unmolested by customs.
And yes, this did get through Ecuadorian customs. Just fine.
All the way from the Orient to the Orient. Give me a little tuck.
Untuck.
Yeah. Now, interesting. A lot of these, we see reviews and you see people, and you'll see someone all of a sudden be like, and it has this and that and da-da-da feature and something. And they're clearly reading a script. They were clearly told what to say. And they clearly like unboxed it and said it's great and then moved on.
We are not just going to unbox it. We are also not just going to say specific things told to us.
We are under no contractual obligation in any way to say anything other than what it is. We have always been honest, forthcoming, and genuine. We're not going to change that here.
And anything we ever do is going to be authentic.
Yeah. All right, so operational instructions, sticker, that's cool.
Foam, more
nice.
foam. Ooh.
That's nice foam.
We should do close-ups of this. We are so professional.
Okay, I didn't want to stop the video.
So professional. Mounting hardware?
I don't know why I shook it first.
I don't know. It's like Christmas. Mounting hardware.
Mounting hardware, cable, strap.
Cool. Ooh, fancy. fancy foam.
That actually is really nice foam.
Ooh, it's heavy.
That's
Okay, that's like the first thing I noticed is that it does not feel like the lightest weight, goofy little thing.
Oh.
It's like a fancy eyeball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It does have a speaker. Yes, I can talk to my goats. I scared them so bad. Comes with solar panel.
So that was one of the more interesting things is, so where the goats are, there is no power. It is, I don't know, 150 meters up a hill. There's no power. So a battery powered unit is what we were after, and more foam.
It's nice foam.
It is actually really nice foam.
It's really nice packaging, honestly. So to finish that, while the battery powered is nice, solar panel is even better because then it's not always just going to run out of batteries and you have to go replace the batteries.
Now we had a traditional game cam that was Eli's. That came with us, and we made it super battery powered. I took 2 of my spare lithiums from our house pack, and it has now like a 20-pound battery bank, which will last years. Unfortunately, the camera, even though it wasn't subjected to water, moisture, things, like it just didn't work all the time. Then it didn't work at night, and then it doesn't work on motion, and then it doesn't work to the right and the left. Things, the battery pack
is only. I mean, it's a game cam, which means that if you want to see something on it, you have to wait until the next day and pull the SD card and put it in your computer and then look.
It's super limited on the seconds of video or photos.
The quality is low. All of that.
It was very, very limiting. Now, we did get some interesting pictures before it fully quit.
But it does not have the live feature, which is a big part of what I wanted.
Yeah.
Especially for the animals here.
All right.
So, I mean, I'm...
Yep.
I don't know. Pretty pleased so far.
So, we have that part. We have...
I'm guessing that's for the panel?
Yeah. Panel mount.
Okay. And then camera mount. And that's, I guess, the next thing we'll do is figure out where we want to put it first and how we're going to mount it.
Instructions. Yep. Neat.
That's exciting.
Okay. So, now let's figure out what it can do, what it is. We probably need to download some piece of software. And we'll get back. So we got it unboxed. We got it put together. We've had, I don't know, a week, 10 days.
Something like that.
To play with it. We've moved it all around. We've done craziness with it. The kids made faces in front of it a lot. We have gone through all the app, every setting, played with this, that, and even emailed the company for support. More importantly, to get our view on it is why we wanted a camera, what we were looking for in a camera.
So if you've watched us, if you know us, hi. We're not super concerned personally about security. We just don't live in a place where we worry about that. But what we do wonder about are the creatures that run around, mostly at night, that we either know about or don't know about. We had a game cam at one point that didn't work particularly well. The second one we had, they have their issues. But it was fun to watch nature around us and see all sorts of crazy animals.
We did catch a panther. One of the few times it worked.
So, man, it'd be really cool to have a better camera to watch those things, to know what's out there, which sometimes that's just a curiosity. I guess sometimes it's also, maybe there's a big cat, we should probably know about it. But the other thing I mean, we both wanted it, but for me particularly was something that could watch the animals when there were baby animals due. The last time we had a goat due, I walked up the hill over and over and over all
Should
night
I check
long.
on the goat? Yes, you should check on the goat. Jump, 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 58 steps or something, and then up the path and over the thing, this and that. Nothing. Walk back down the hill.
Set alarms all night long because I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss it. Like if there's
every 2
something I need
hours
to
in the
help
dark,
with.
in the rain, check on the goat. How's the goat? Meh.
Just be mad at me. And I'm like, I just want to see if you were okay.
Or the pigs.
Did the same thing with the pig, yeah.
This would have actually super helped in the problem we had with the birthing of the pigs.
Yes.
More information.
You can miss things. Even when you think that you have not missed them, you can miss things.
We had to try to piece together a story after the fact when we had a medical emergency.
So, it would have been great to have then something that we definitely wanted.
Speak of the goat.
Something that we definitely wanted for the future, and we have goats due very soon. So that was, I guess, those were like the two main things.
Now, it needed to be a camera that was remote. We're not running Ethernet cable to it. We're not running power hundreds of yards up the hill and then moving it around randomly wherever it happens to be.
Yeah, because we weren't just putting it in one spot, like on a house, and calling it good. We needed to be able to move it around.
Right. So this one, it is battery powered. It has a huge battery. It's got a 20,000 milliamp hour battery, which they say is good for 16 months of normal use, whatever normal use is, or 8
days of continuous recording.
Continuous recording at 12 hours a day in ultra high definition.
With one charge.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Well, that's cool.
So we plugged it in for a little while, charged it up, got tired of waiting for it to charge, and then just put it out. What it said was 65% battery, which is probably not correct, but it had some. We've used exactly like 16% of the battery, using the heck out of it in the time we've had it.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which is really cool.
It was actually impressive to me. I was not expecting that.
Like, this is a legit battery-powered camera. We're looking at it. We're streaming video from it. We're moving it around. We're playing with it. You could just leave it as battery-powered. It does come with a solar panel, which was one of the optional extras, which means you could put it super remote and
well, and we wanted
it would
that
just recharge.
Because I guess we thought the battery wouldn't last as long as it does.
I did not understand how long that would go on a battery charge. Like, it is incredibly efficient. Like, you would never think of a phone which has, like, 4,000 or 5,000 milliamp hour battery to last more than like a couple days. I think. No, this camera, like, motion sensor thing, stuff, auto tracking. Yeah. So that was neat.
One of the features that I think is cool, because if you've used a game cam, and probably other cameras, you miss stuff. You see, like, the butt of an animal.
That's a tail.
Away, and you're like, man,
what kind of tail was it? And man, first, it's low res,
irritating.
And two, it just missed it. We did that with the van. I did a drive-by in the van at high speed and just ripped on down the driveway with it, like, just off the side of the driveway, and I saw the bumper.
Like, no. Because we didn't have there's a pre-record setting that we didn't.
It's turned off by default, and then I looked at it once, and it says, like, careful, this will use a bunch more, like, battery, and I'm like, and I thought the battery was going to be the super limiting factor. We're going to have to charge it every so often, so I'm like, I'll just leave that off.
No, we're going to turn it on.
It has a pre-recording feature where it basically continuously records into a cache and then erases it if nothing happened. If something happened, it goes back and grabs the last so many seconds of recording to pull into, to make sure that the motion sensor, if it triggered a few seconds late, it grabs before that.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that feature a lot.
It's
honestly.
neat.
That's pretty cool.
I have turned it on now.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see if things work better.
I've also hooked up the solar panel, and it's already, like, it's already come up a few percent just in a little while I've had it plugged in.
Was it easy to put on? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Could I have done it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's as easy as a phone.
But yeah, I like that, because there's some things where it's like, needs all this crazy setup and know-how, and I'm like, I don't know.
It uses USB-C.
That's pretty easy.
Which is a super standard.
So, one of the biggest reasons we wanted a camera was nighttime. Because daytime we're here. Yeah, and that's us. Like, I know that a lot of people want a security camera for when they're at work, when they're gone, when they're on vacation, when they're things. We're always here during the day.
But as the song goes, the freaks come out at night.
And when the dog freaks out at night, you're like, where's the thing? What's the thing? Or you hear some weird creature, and you're like, or the goats give birth because animals like to do that when you're not watching.
At night. Yeah.
So, night vision was a huge part of why we wanted a camera. This one has night vision.
Yeah, so they claim night vision. There's some technical specs about the size of the sensor, the aperture. It's like a 1.0 aperture. It's
We put up all little details on the screen.
yeah, 4 times more light. So
yeah,
in real world terms, what this means is this camera will grab color images right down until you pretty much can't see yourself, and it'll still do color. I tried it early in the morning, like 45 minutes till sunrise. I know it was early. Like I look outside and like it's dark enough I would take a flashlight if I had to go do something. We're on that verge of like barely see, and I click on the camera, looks like daytime. So it will take like reasonably good color shots, perfect definition, long distance seeing. It looks like it's daytime up until there's zero light, and then it just, well, it's not magic.
Well, and that's I guess I had some sort of magical expectations. But what I think we realized is that we are a bit of an anomaly. We have no light pollution, like zero. So if there is not a moon, there is no light.
Now, the moon came up, and I got some video off that. If there's solid moonlight, totally everything's visible. That's it. Just on moonlight, super great. You can see everything you need to. Probably down to half, 3/4 of a moon. Underneath that gets a little grainy, and then at some point we get where it's cloud cover and dark. There's no reflected light. There's no other neighbors. There's no city reflected light. Sometimes you just have a sort of brightness from like sitting.
No, we're pitch black sometimes.
Pitch black is pitch black. Now, interesting. The motion sensor will kick. And I had some videos where I've turned, it has a little spotlight, and I've turned that off, and it will record black.
Well, and you walked by it, and you could hear your
crunch on
the gravel.
Yeah.
But it was pitch black.
Pitch black.
If you turn the spotlight off.
Yes.
If you turn the spotlight on, the motion sensor will trigger the spotlight.
Right.
And then you'll get a good image.
And then boom. And then the spotlight lights up everything to about 50 feet.
It just scares the poor goat to death.
It did not scare the armadillo. Cue armadillo clip. So we cut the little armadillo nosing around the duck house. We've just been moving around just trying to get something, like I don't know, where do we put it? We put it here, put it there.
Something's been digging around down there by the pond.
Yeah, it's like fishing. So we caught the armadillo.
That was cool. Didn't know we had one of those around.
Yeah, it's new. What else we got?
The fact that it auto tracks and you can move it around like crazy.
So moving around, you can 360, 90 degrees down and up. So you can mount it high. You can look down. You can look there. Yes. I put it inside the goat houses, and I can look at those houses and those houses.
355 horizontal. Yeah, I mean it's
full circle, and because it has a slight fisheye lens, it has more than enough. It can move really quick. It can move slow. You can set that. So that's cool.
Now it auto tracks, and you have like a ton of settings in the app. It auto tracks, but you can also manually move it.
Oh yeah.
From the app. So you have both options.
Oh, and the app has a ton of like functionality. You can set ranges. You can set its homing point where it goes back to. Only go here to here. Only this for that. Only something. Only certain times a day. There's schedules for like every different function.
Which is good because sometimes you'll put a camera somewhere and you're like, well, for us, there's like, oh, there's this tree, and when it's windy, it's going to trigger the day in camera. So you can just sort of erase that from its detection field.
Well, in detection, it has differentiation. I don't know their technical term for it, but it has animal, human, car.
Yeah, person, vehicle, animal.
And you can set the size of each one, discrimination. You can set the sensitivity thereof. I set the sensitivity pretty darn high. And I'm worried about, like, I've had these before, and like every freaking leaf and moth in the world will set it off. And you're like, yeah, I have like 900 pictures of leaves blowing in a slight breeze. I have none of that. We got one of
of leaves, but it was a windstorm.
It did pick up the windstorm.
So I'm like, okay, well that's reasonable then.
Yeah. It missed a rat at 30 feet away. Rat or mouse, we don't know. We missed it.
Some sort of small banana-eating creature.
Yeah. But you can set all of that in the app.
Yeah. So what else about the app? Because you've played with that.
Oh my gosh,
And you're using that on the iPad.
On an iPad, old iPad. So it has functionality back. I think I have a 5th or a 6th gen iPad.
Which is cool because not all apps will work on old.
Well, a lot of people will go buy an older iPad or a used one for $50 and get a little wall mount display. You don't care if the battery's bad. You're just going to plug it in and it just becomes your alarm center, your security center.
Yeah.
Now, there is there's a few nitpicks that I have, mostly with the app. One of them is it really likes to go into portrait mode for most of its functions. You can go into landscape mode and like see it, but then to get to certain functions, you click it and it goes back to portrait. If you've mounted your iPad,
It would be annoying.
you're doing that. I plug my iPad in sometimes and then I go to check it and then it like flips back. Well, I can't set it down this way. There's a cord. It's a minor nitpick. It's probably something, I did check the App Store. There's a bunch of gripes about like orientation. It's probably a software fix in the future. That's pretty normal kind of stuff. That being said, it is the best of all of the different apps for security cameras I've ever used.
We were very nervous
with the apps and the kludginess. And no, it's pretty quick. It does things, goes to clips, goes to what you want, get to the settings. And having been a programmer or a web development interface person, there's always the discrepancy between what the engineers think it should look like and what the end user thinks makes sense.
Yeah.
It does a pretty good job of bridging that. It mostly makes sense. There's a few, like, look at it, you play with it, just play with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything.
It's like anything.
Yeah. So one of the so here it is again. One of the things that we wanted, though this is a Wi-Fi, not a 4G. So they have many different camera options. Some of them you have to have data.
And
we
then
don't have data.
And then you get into you misconfigured your sensitivity something. It just used up 3 gigabytes of data streaming like leaves or a bird that nested in a tree or anything. There's also just no data out here. Wi-Fi is free and fast, but you're limited on your distance.
It's free. We pay for it.
But once you pay for it, it's free.
It's free.
We're already going to pay for it. Now, the camera has 5G and 2.4G functionality. It's got a big antenna on it. We've gone
pretty far.
150 meters that way, more than that the other way. It still said full signal on 5G, which I did not expect. Now, I'm going to try switching it to 2.4 because 2.4 always gives you a longer range at the expense of a little bit of speed, but you get that much longer range. But the fact that I'm still getting full signal strength, full high definition streaming at these kind of distances is sort of crazy good. So props on that. But, I mean, nitpick again, you can't change that. I'm going to have to reset the camera and all the settings that I've put into it and all the little schedules and things and do a full reset because it comes up of which antenna do you want to use in the opening menu. And then I'm going to have to select 4G. There's no toggle. Again, software fix. It's something they could roll out and it'll just appear and be like no sweat.
I'm guessing they probably will at some point.
Maybe after watching this video.
What else? There are more notifications than there are recordings. Because you can set your notifications, your alerts, and you can schedule all of that, right? Which is nice because it's not going to alert you in the middle of the night and wake you up unless you want it to.
We tried that. And I got, an alerted thing. There was a something out there at 4 in the morning and I woke up and like checked it. And then we set a schedule on it. So it was only within certain hours. And then I just turned it off because I wanted to sleep. But there was like 9 notifications and like 6 videos.
Now what we figured out is that it actually sticks all of those little videos together.
If the videos overlap, it just becomes a long video. But there was 2 events that happened in the video.
Like 2 detections.
The thing ran that way, and then came back.
And it just became one video.
So, again, minor.
And it isn't really a problem. It's just something to realize. Because when you look at it and you see so many alerts, you're like, well, where are all my videos for each alert?
Tiny other nitpick. Dismissing alerts is click on every one thing, go to it, opens the app, dismiss thing. Click. So if you have a giant list of them, I haven't found a way to like just group dismiss. And if I had set it somewhere and forgotten about it and I come back to like 300 alerts, I would be annoyed at spending the next hour plus at clicking each one.
That is fair.
Software fix.
Is there anything else about the app?
No, overall, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's pretty easy to use. We managed to share.
Oh yeah, I have it on my computer too, so it works on Windows.
That was quick.
It's a completely different interface.
It all has
super different.
It's all the same things, but it's a totally different format.
Completely different format, different layout.
Yeah.
But it works.
It works good.
It even works on my computer, which doesn't always work well. All right. So setup, use.
Right. We did the unboxing video. Lovely packaging. Build quality looks really good. Honestly, I'm impressed with that part. We decided not to. It comes with screw mounts. You're going to put it somewhere. We want to move it all around. We want to play with it a lot. We're going to put it in a goat house. We're going to put it down the road. We're going to go put it up in the ravine where we think some big animals live. So it comes with a strap. And I'm like,
I sort of thought since it isn't technically a game cam, it isn't designed for that. I was sort of worried that we may have to like.
Yeah. No, it anything between 3/4 of an inch and like 10 inches, 12 inches across.
It's got a really secure strap.
It's just got a big old like strap, like a backpack would have a strap. Just go strap it to a thing. And you have the same option for the solar panel, which then has a full little ball mount on it. So you can just point wherever the sun may be. Works really well. I mounted it on a goat stake, and I move it. I just take the whole thing and just step it into the ground.
Goat stake, like everyone has a goat stake.
Why doesn't everybody have a goat stake? We use them for 1,000 applications.
There's fence stakes or goat stakes.
It's a metal pole that's like 4 feet high.
Has a little step in.
And it's like a step-in post.
Yeah. The first thing we realized about the camera, though.
Right, we get it. We're so excited.
We're just silly.
We do the unboxing. There, we're going to set it up. No memory card. Oh.
I mean, it never said it had a memory card. I don't know if we assumed it did or I don't.
No.
We just didn't.
And we were bummed, and we're like, we can't play with the new toy. But in reality, you're going to go buy whatever memory card that you want. Which quality size thing.
Yeah.
I think I got an 8 gigabyte, 16 gig. I got a 16 gigabyte, which it turns out is plenty. I'll get like weeks and weeks of video before it has to overwrite on that. So yeah,
you have to get your own. It's a micro SD.
Micro SD. Get a good quality one that's rated for video speed, because sometimes the super cheap bargain ones don't do well with the high stream rates. Storing files, that's one thing, but streaming video, you want the better quality that has the higher speed.
Yeah. What else?
Let's see, noise reduction. So we had a request from somebody of like, hey, could you go record like natural sounds in the evening of like nature and bugs and birds? And we're like, yeah.
We have a lot of cool sounds.
We do. And I tried with my phone and it didn't work. And I tried with our little microphones and it doesn't work. And it turns out that this has noise reduction. It like picks up my voice. When I stop talking, it goes, cut. And then it waits until there's a loud enough thing to trigger it again. So when you're trying to get bugs, it goes, you hear it for a second, and then it's gone. Until something's loud enough, like if I snap my fingers, it'll pick up the snap and then turn the microphone on. I'll get ambient noise. Honestly, we're super frustrated. All of our devices have this. Nothing will record sound. The camera, I put it up by the goats the other night. Remembered to turn off the auto spotlight, or every time the goat wakes and moves, the light turns on and the goat gets very confused of like, are the humans here? What's going on? You can turn it off. But I was realizing I'm hearing all of the noises. I'm hearing the bugs and the nighttime. We have a lot of nighttime birds, frogs, things. Now, it is just a security microphone. It's not like your studio grade, like crazy mic like you see podcasters use. But it was pretty good, and it's better than everything else we have.
It actually picks up noise quite a ways away.
So at some point I'm going to do like an 8-hour video, which is basically going to be darkness, unless there's a lot of moon, of nature sounds.
We have some of the coolest nighttime nature sounds I've ever heard.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed in a world of software as a service subscription, everything, which I loathe and detest and secretly curse you with little dolls and pins. So far, everything we've done with it is just you buy the camera, it works with the camera.
You download the app, you get to use it, full capabilities, everything, not like some sort of hidden subscription cost thing.
And that's like, you know, and sometimes they hide the fancy features like the motion tracking thing or the something behind a paywall. No, it all works without the paywall. So then we get to I guess the question is, would we buy this camera with our own money? Which we are very, very frugal with.
Yeah.
Because we don't have it. Like if it came down to the food or the camera and we really needed a camera, would I buy it again? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually.
No, it's actually pretty awesome. It's weatherproof. It goes outside. I move it everywhere. It has exceeded my expectations for video quality, for functionality, for ease of use. The app.
The app is way better than I thought it was going to be.
A lot of the cameras fall down sadly on the app. I had another one that I just installed for a business a year ago here. Horrible. Just everything about it was horrible. It was slow. And that was one of the major companies. No, it was really good. So yes, I would absolutely buy it again. The only thing that I think I would do differently is I would probably paint the thing flat black. For our application, we're trying to be like sneaky about it.
It's very white.
It's very
nothing
white.
Nothing else in our world is that white and clean.
No.
Goodness.
No.
It really sticks out. It is a little eyeball.
It is. So I'd probably like try to sneaky it up a bit. Maybe a little camouflage spray paint job. But other than that, no, it's great. We actually have an affiliate link through the company. So if you want one of these, if you have the kind of application that we do.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. Or a security application where you want it to record, you want it to catch motion, you don't want to miss things, you want the long battery life, you want...
I mean, gosh, if I think about places where I have wanted a security camera in my life, this would have been perfect.
And yeah, so we have an affiliate link. We get a few dollars out of it. If you're going to buy it anyway, please help support us, help us continue to make these videos. I will say that I think there's a huge advantage to the battery-powered cameras over the powered cameras. There was just, Ecuador has been having power outages. There has been alerts and things and groups started and official recommendations of all this stuff of like, oh, security and a thing and a something. I think it's a little over the top. But if there's a nationwide power outage or a neighborhood power outage, everybody's cameras go down.
And everybody knows.
Everybody knows your security system is down to the battery backup, which is like door and window sensors, if you have one of the fancy ones.
And this is true of anywhere you live, not just Ecuador. I mean, there are power outages that happen.
With this camera, honestly, at the rate we've been using the heck out of it.
It has been on all day, all night.
And we stream it, we look at it with things, and we're using it, we're moving it around. We've been playing with it. At our rate of use, without the solar panel, I think I figured we get about 6 weeks out of it. That's it. Just 6 weeks of just playing with it, moving it around, not even having to think about it. With the solar panel, never have to do it again. At a normal rate of use, yeah, they claim 16 months. I could try testing it in 16 months and let you know, but we're going to use it for other stuff. It lasts a very long time. Battery life is fantastical.
Yeah,
so
I'm really impressed with that. It also doesn't seem to ever fail in some way, either the app or the camera. There are no just like the app crashes. Has the app ever crashed?
It has not crashed.
Because pretty much everything else has crashed at least once. So yeah, I think it's great.
No, it's been doing good.
I'm excited to use it more. I want to go stick it down on the water path and see if
we
can
will
find some sort of creature.
Be posting the occasional like video based around this camera from our animals giving birth.
which is going to happen in like a week.
It's going to happen in a week. We catch wild animals on the camera, then that is going to go up as a special look what we found. It has enough resolution. I can zoom in. You can get good detail. There's animals up here that literally may not be cataloged.
Who knows?
In the realm of science. There's some possibilities of things that like may exist here that are only rumored to exist.
And we hear monkeys of some variety.
We hear monkeys
regularly.
too.
So who knows what we might find?
We don't know. So we're gonna have like a feature using the camera coming out every so often. That'll be neat. Yeah. And then for when we're going, like there is the occasional day that we go and have to go do errands or official paperwork or something. And I set it up on a pole. I pointed at the driveway.
Just in case. I mean, come on. Most things don't happen here, but the neighbor occasionally shows up with her goat or something, and we would at least know.
The neighbor has come and left her goat in our driveway. Not when we get home from a dentist appointment at like 7:30 at night.
Well, yeah. So I mean, we're super grateful that REOLINK reached out, because this was kind of perfect timing. We were really wanting one, so it was awesome.
But we're like, no money, can't afford it. And the ones locally, and I've tried the best ones available, locally, and they're barely worth the money. They're rough, in a way that I'd rather just not.
More trouble than it's worth.
It is. Oh, I'm also going to use it for time lapses of our house build on occasion, because it has a time lapse feature.
It also isn't your poor phone that will just run out of battery.
Oh my God! I've tried to use my phone, the time lapse on my Android phone, and it just burns up all the memory thing. The phone gets hot, and then I have this like 12 gigabyte file that the computer chokes on. Like literally just about spew circuit boards onto the desk trying to deal with like all these huge files and crunch them down to a time lapse. It has a time lapse feature. It is easy in the app to simply click download. If you view the videos in the app, another nitpick, you can't frame by frame.
Frame by frame.
You can, as soon as you go to the app, and it takes a few seconds, and then it plays because it's pulling it from the camera. It just automatically starts playing, and if something happening at the beginning of the frame, like we had with the van that drove by, I'm like, oh, I want to see if I can see the license plate. Nope. Hit pause. By the time the pause button appears, the video is already playing. I couldn't ever get it. I back it up. Well, as soon as I back it up, it goes into the buffering screen, and then it just starts playing, and it's like whack-a-mole, and I could never win. But
you can't just download them.
Yeah, there's a button. You just click download, boom, and it's in the photos of my iPad, and I can sit there and play with it in that app, which works beautifully. So super minor nitpick, and it's super easy to get around.
Yeah. Anything else? We just keep rambling.
Rambles.
We can talk through it.
You can.
Which is sort of
it's creepy.
It's very creepy.
The goat was
very alarmed when we said hello to her, and she's like, "Oh, what is going on?"
Yeah, we turned on the light in the middle of the night, and then started talking through the little teeny speaker in the camera. Hello.
But you can.
You can. You can tell someone to poop off. You're like, no, go home. Which, yeah. And it's pretty quick with the alerts. From the time it picks up a motion sensor event to when I would get an alert is seconds.
Yep. So it's pretty much real time.
And then it's several, 3, 4, 5 seconds to get the app in and open and get the video stream going. And then if I wanted to speak, it's like 2 more seconds to like click it on. So it's pretty quick. You wouldn't want to hold a conversation through it.
No.
It's sort of, you click speak and you speak, and then you sort of stop, and then it has to switch, and then it's listening. If 2 people are talking at once, it gets a little.
It gets confused.
Yeah, it's not a.
But no one is really using it for that purpose.
Yeah, if you need to, like, we see you're stealing something, they're like, oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
The dog
like it.
The dog does not enjoy it when I talk to him through it.
It's confusing.
It's confusing.
So it works. We like it. We're very pleased with it.
Yeah, if you want one. There's also the lady we were communicating with said there's a launch discount.
Yes.
Yes, there's like a 20% discount for the launch of it. If you get in on it, you can get a sizable discount. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah. And there you go. Well, this has been Tiny Hens, Big Dreams in our Ecuadorian homestead. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.